on to a major development in the sexual assault case against disgraced comedian Bill Cosby. Today, justices of the Pennsylvania Supreme Court seemed open to one of Cosby's arguments that his 2018 conviction for assaulting Andrea Constand should be overturned, which could make him a free man. During Cosby's retrial for the 2004 assault of Constand, the judge allowed 5 other women to testify, claiming that they were also drugged and assaulted by the entertainer. In a virtual court hearing today, Cosby's lawyer said these so-called prior bad act witnesses caused prejudice and shouldn't have been allowed to testify, while prosecutors said that they helped prove Cosby had a pattern of criminal behavior. It's a murky area of law now on appeal before Pennsylvania's highest court, but today during oral arguments, some justices seemed to agree with Cosby's claim of prejudice, even suggesting he didn't get a fair trial. Cosby has already served more than 2 years of his prison sentence. And we are joined tonight by Bill Cosby's public relations and crisis manager, Andrew Wyatt. Andrew, thanks so much for coming on the show. Now, of course, Bill Cosby remains behind bars and did not attend this virtual hearing. What did you tell him about it, and what was his response?
Well, look, he called this morning after oral arguments, 20 minutes after oral arguments were done. And he was very enthusiastic. He was optimistic, though. And I told him that Attorney Jennifer Bungine represented him well. She presented well. She handled the questions well. And she just gave a great argument for his freedom and for the justices today in the Pennsylvania State Supreme Court to vacate his conviction. And if not vacate his conviction, warrant him a new trial. And he was excited to hear that.
And what was your take? I mean, did you feel that the justices seemed open to throwing out Cosby's conviction based on those 5 so-called prior bad act witnesses? And if this happens, would it come to a surprise to Cosby and his team?
Well, first and foremost, the justices were fair and balanced. This is something that was unique for us. We've never seen this. We never saw this during both of the trials. And in both of his trials in Montgomery County, we saw a judge who we call the hanging judge, who was, partners with the prosecution to get a conviction. But this all stemmed from actual case that the State Supreme Court of Pennsylvania heard quietly, an appeal case for a death row inmate by the name of Charles Hicks, who murdered a woman in the Pocono Mountains and was convicted. And they brought in 3 women from Texas who claimed that he had beaten and choked them. So the justices were confused because 7 justices issued 5 different opinions. And so they've been confused on this murky law called 404B. And that gave a rise for us when we submitted our appeal, and because of who Bill Cosby is, it gave attention to the matter, and they said we will agree to review his appeal. So that's how we got to this stage to say that the 404B witness that was issued in the Cosby case had nothing to do with Andrea Constand. And Mr. Cosby went into a trial thinking that he was going to be tried against a person who accused him, Andrea Constand, but he ended up having a total of 6 trials opposed to 1 with 5 other women.
And right, just to keep people up to speed who weren't paying a lot of attention, Bill Cosby was tried 2 times. The first time the judge allowed just 1 prior bad act witness, and the second time he allowed 5. Now, Pennsylvania law allows testimony of so-called prior bad act witnesses when they can help establish the defendant's pattern of behavior, or MO. So why do you think that Bill Cosby's case was different from others that allowed it?
Well, first and foremost, if you remember in the first trial, we didn't even put on a defense. There was 1 witness, Kelly Johnson. Well, in the second trial, the prosecution was given an a la carte menu of 19 women. Now, they could have used all 19 women. Then the judge, we filed a motion. He said, well, I will grant them to pick the best 5 that they want. Well, out of all of those women, they never had similar patterns to Andrea Constand. If you remember her alleged allegation against Mr. Cosby, she said that he gave her some pills, which he admitted to Benadryl, to incapacitate her so he could have sex with her, and he digital penetrated her. Well, those 5 prior women, they had a distance of a 21-year span.
How confident are you, though, Andrew, that without the testimony of these 5 women that Cosby would have been acquitted, especially after dozens of women had come forward in the press to accuse him of assault dating back to the 1980s?
Well, look, we were very confident because, first of all, not any of these women filed any charges. They never made an accusation 20, 30, 15 years ago. They never said anything about this. This all happened and sparked because of a self-proclaimed civil rights attorney, Gloria Allred, coming out and bringing over 60 women out saying something happened, but no proof, no evidence, no rape kit, no drug test, no blood test. So we were very confident that Mr. Cosby would have prevailed.
Andrew Wyatt, thanks so much for coming on the show. Appreciate your time.
Thank you so much, Linsey.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.